Hey, good afternoon. Who loves that intro beat? I love that. If you're watching us live today. This is March. Well, today is March 16th. And welcome. It's a Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon now. If you are in the other regions of the globe, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever you're watching us live right now or on a replay, thank you for joining us. You are joining me for Brewing Live. Of course, this is the month of March as we talk about coffee traditions around the world. So if you have been joining us since March 1st up until yesterday and today, you have been listening to all of the coaches who's talking about coffee traditions from the Philippines, from different parts of the globes. And today I'm going to talk to you about an Irish coffee, which is something that I love to drink, by the way. I'm going to share to you some of the histories and some of the cultural norms that have been practiced specific to this kind of coffee that I will share with you. And of course, I'm going to share to you some common practice that we do here in the Philippines, at least on what I do, is specific and related to the coffee that I will share with you this afternoon. So if you have some friends in there, it's a lunchtime, of course. If you are used to eating lunch at 12 noon, then you might be eating your lunch right now. So tune in. Just turn on the audio. Let's have a conversation. If you want to share your thoughts and insights as well, please utilize the comment section. Let's have a conversation and let's talk about some of the rituals and some of the things that we do specific to coffee. And if you're just joining me, if this is the first time you're joining me, I am life coach Shaun. I'm the life coach dad. I'm a professional certified CACC life coach. I'm also a master coach apprentice of Master Coach A. And I've started life coaching since I met it back in May, in the year 2018. I got certified back in May 2018. And one of the things that I've realized of how powerful life coaching is and what I'm sharing to you are some of the things that I've realized from the past couple of years that I've been with through life coaching and some of the wins that I'm going to share with you so that you can utilize that as learning in your end. So today we're going to talk about sip and soothe, and it's finding comfort in Irish coffee. Have you heard of the drink Irish coffee? Let me know in the chat box in there. What Irish coffee to you? What's the taste like? If you can remember your first order of Irish coffee, what was the experience like? Of course, before I begin, we have some coaches who's joining us. Of course, Coach Lynn is joining us here. Maraming salamat. Invite your friends and loved ones in there, and let's have a conversation. Now, for Irish coffee, is something that I've been ordering for some time already. Irish coffee is made of whiskey. Okay, whiskey, and it also has coffee and it also has cream. So it has whiskey, sugar, coffee, and cream. For most common than not, when you order your typical coffee, you have sugar, coffee, and cream, right? That are the three ingredients that you have in there. But specific to Irish coffee, they add whiskey. Now, when we talk about whiskey, if you we're gonna take a look at the origin of whiskey, whiskey has been here or well known in the globe since 1000 to 1200 AD. So that is where whiskey was created. It was a distillation process, and it has migrated from European countries to the mainland Scotland and Ireland through traveling monks. So the monks are the one that are drinking and have this whiskey in their travel. So what makes it special in the Scottish and Irish location or the part of the globe is because of the climate. Because in that location in Scotland and in Irish locations, there's no vineyard or grapes to make wine because of the weather, right? Because of the weather, there's no way for them to be able to make wine. So what they're doing is fermenting it. They turned fermenting grain mash, which is what whiskey is all about. So when you are drinking whiskey, when you are drinking Irish coffee specifically, then it has some alcohol beverage in that. All right. Now, Irish coffee, when you think about Irish coffee, it's hot. It's served hot in a glass, in a tall glass. It has these comforting flavors and aromas of Irish coffee provides a sense of comfort and relaxation. Yeah, that is what it does. And Irish coffee, well, as I've shared a while ago, it's it's served in a goblet glass. So have you seen a goblet glass? Coach Lynn, have you seen a goblet glass? Which it's kind of high, and it has this specific form, and it comes again from a humble beginning. Now, this the history of this. When was this created? The Irish coffee was created back in a small village or somewhere in a small village in the west coast of Ireland. So that's why it's Irish, okay, because it's in Ireland. And it's an Irish coffee that has become an iconic drink, especially for someone as me who has been an alcohol drinker before. All right, if you are an alcohol drinker and you are transitioning to a less alcohol consumption, I've been a drunkard before, but mostly on social occasions. I would drink up until I throw up. So if you are someone who goes through that experience, that what I would do, from celebrations, from parties to activities at work. This is something that's all common for me, but because of lifestyle changes, I know I started to find something else for me to enjoy. Now, Irish coffee was created back in the 1930s and in the 1940s. Now, this was during World War II. It was created somewhere in Points. It's Foynes. Yeah, Points, which was one of the busiest airport in Europe. So if you search that, it's Foynes. It's an busiest airport in Europe back then. And the Irish coffee was invented by Joe Sheridan. And Sheridan, who was a chef during the time, who has worked in the old terminal building at the Points Air Base, which is located in the River Shannon, Limerick, in Ireland. All right. So that is where it was created. And back then, the situation why this was concocted, why was this created, is back in the 1943 because of a group of American passengers has embarked on a Pan Am flight that has been forced to land in the airport. So this is, just it's not really planned. It was forced that the plane would land because of bad weather. And the passengers, of course, were cold, they were tired, and what the chef did, the chef Joe Sheridan, decided to make a bed graggled group of special coffee. And what he did is he got a coffee, got a sugar, he topped that with a glass or a shot of whiskey, then he top it up with a cream. So that is when the Irish coffee was made. Hello, Coach Corbel. Thank you for joining. And the passengers loved it. They loved it. They requested that Sheridan would continue to create more. And this is where the start of the Irish coffee become a popular drink in the airports and soon, being served on flights departing from points. Now, at the Kappa Republic, this is also something that's being shared. So it's available in there. So if you want to have a taste of Irish coffee, there's only one shot there, but you want to put in some of that punch in there, order some two shots, of course. If you have not ordered it yet, Coach Lynn, one shot lang muna. Try it out and see how it tastes like. And it's something that really just allows you to experience that warmthness because of that shot of whiskey. Now, at the coffee in the airports, we have coffees in there, right? If you've gone through the airport, if you've traveled, there's coffee shop in there. Me specifically, back then when I was still traveling because of work, my work before required for me to travel to different parts of the Philippines. I would go to Davao, I would go to Cebu, and I would go to different areas every quarter for me to be able to visit my teams. And one of the things that I would do is when I go to the airport a little earlier than my flight, I would pick a coffee shop in there, sit down, and have some hot coffee. Of course, in other parts of the back then when I was traveling, there's no I not really someone who ordered Irish coffee because I needed to work and so on. However, this is something that would help you out. But that is my experience going to the airport. You would go and have a cup of coffee, and even during the time that you would embark and ride the plane, you would I would order coffee as well, and it's something that would really just warms you up, right? Especially if your flight is early in the morning. Have you ever experienced an early morning flight, a 4 a.m. flight? because I need to catch that meeting in the morning, and I don't want to miss that. And it's something that really just puts you in a calmer state of mind, because we know how busy the airport is, right? The airport can be busy. There are a lot of people running around. There are a lot of people and children uh, walking around in there. And it kind of, if you have anxiety, kind of some triggers some emotions in there. So what's your coffee experience in the airport? How do you enjoy the present location if you are in the airport? Because that's me as well. Most recently, when we're doing mission trips in life coaching, when we're doing certification programs in Cebu and also in Tacloban, what would happen is we would come to a location in there, grab a cup of coffee, and they would just share stories, right? How many of you have had that opportunity to really just have a conversation, have some ideas coming back and forth, maybe some learnings in there, or maybe some pressing concerns or issue that you would talk about and resolve as a group? How many of you have done that? I've done that. It's a powerful experience and a wonderful journey, because you can kind of start getting to know the other person as well. All right. So one of the things that I've learned is specific to um, the history, especially with my topic right now, which I talk about Irish coffee, because Irish coffee is a coffee that when you drink it, you have this comforting feeling, and it's kind of soothing in there because of that alcohol mix. And of course, we know that coffee would suit you as well, but because of that shot of whiskey, and it's something that would really just allow you to step back, pull back and reflect on the things that's going on in your life. I remember a story when I was growing up. I wanted to be an airline pilot. And this is connected towards the story and the history of the Irish coffee, because it's, the origin of it is because of people who landed into an Irish environment or airport, and then eventually someone concocted that kind of coffee in there because they were cold. Back then, when I was still young, I wanted to be an airline pilot, and because of our financial challenges, we're well off, but we didn't have that capacity to really for me to go through the process of becoming a pilot. And but because of the financial challenges that we experienced, I was not able to fulfill my goals. And I had a simple goal back then. I just really want to be an airline pilot. I didn't have any other choice of, being in engineering, doing architecture, being a nurse and business management and all of these different things. Just one. Just wanted one. But because of the financial challenges that we have experienced, I was not able to fulfill that. Now, because I didn't really have a clear direction, the next big thing for me to take is the first come in mind is to take computer science. Because back then, computer science was it was the computer industry, or it wasn't IT back then. It's just the computer has been booming back then. You have Microsoft, you have Apple, and that is one thing that people are encouraging me, because I have this fun for assembling desktops, and I have that kind of urge for me to assemble things, get parts in here and so on, and assemble it. So my mom would encourage me, why take this course. During those time, I told myself maybe a computer engineering topic or subject was good for me, because computer engineering back then didn't have to go through a certification. You don't need to take a board exam, and you end up being someone who's in the IT industry that would either build computers, or either you will be in an IT department, right? That you would be able to help them with technology. So that was my path back then. But going through that process, because I didn't really know what to do next, I made some bad decisions. And one of the bad decisions that I experienced back then is getting married early on, because um I had a kid when I was 19 years old. So think about this journey, right? You have this wish of wanting to be something, but when you went to college, because of financial challenges, you just go with the flow, and you just go to whatever the tide would take you, which lead me towards having a family at a very young age. Which, during the time, of course, when you have a family at that young age, you would now start reassessing your priorities. How many of you can relate to that? Hello, Master Coach Jasmine. Thank you for joining. Coach Nord, thank you for joining. I hope you're doing fine in there. So that's what's happened. Now, during the time, because my priorities would change, I then decided afterwards, graduating to college because I shifted towards electronic communications engineering, which I have a board exam, by the way, that I didn't pursue anymore. I took, you know, twice, but I told myself, nah, probably this is something not for me. I moved to Manila and I told myself, I'm going to find work and I'm going to do all of my best for me to be able to create a better life for my children. And I was fortunate enough during that time in which the BPO industry, hindi pa BPO, call center industry pa siya back then. Hindi pa siya business processing outsourcing. It's a call center industry back then. I was given an opportunity to work for that industry, and I was fortunate enough to be able to get promoted every 2 to 3 years. That was my goal because I want to create a lifestyle for my family in which we wouldn't need to rely on my parents. We would have our own house, I would buy my own car, and I would be able to spend all of these things for me to be able to have a better life. Now, during the peak of my career, getting promoted every 2 to 3 years, and eventually, when it came that I became a senior manager, that is when I hit a big rock. I hit a big wall. I hit that, and uh, I started to have this, peak of your career that eventually we have there was an activity at school which my daughter was going to school back then, and we were called by a guidance counselor after a seminar on mental health, and the counselor said that, hey, your daughter might have a depression. So that went bam, that all of my successes eventually hit me hard, and I needed to reassess myself. So that is one of my lowest point in my life because all of the successes that I have, all of the accolades, all of the things that I have achieved, this didn't equate towards the result that I achieved or I've seen with my children and my daughter. So lo and behold, we were trying to help our daughter, which is Shaila, by the way. If you know her, they have a business which is created brewers here at Pioneer Center Supermarket inside of that. And if you want to know more how we're doing, they're gonna be open later at 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. Check out their creative works. Of course, if you want to check out their page, check out Creative Brewers, okay? Creative Viewers, and you would see the works that they have from artistical work, and also my son is doing some work in there on leather works, that would help you out maintain your shoes. So going back to my story, that is where I hit a wall because all of the things that I've achieved not it does not it's not commensurate towards what I've seen with my daughter. She has depression. So we needed to have her go through the process of going to a psychiatrist and helping them out. And during this time, I was also looking for ways for me to be able to elevate the way that I do my work because I was kind of bored in my work back then. It's just a promotion and thing. And that is when back in 2018, I met life coaching. Now, life coaching was not something that I wanted to do. I wanted to be a motivational speaker. But when I met my life coaching, I met Master Coach A, I met all of the people at Teacup Coffee Republic. And if you want to enjoy a moment at Teacup Coffee Republic, they're open from 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. They're also inside Pioneer Center compound, yan, in PC Supermarket in Capitolio, Pasig City. So there's a compound in there. There's a second floor. You can go in there and you can visit and have some enjoyable moment. But during the time when I met life coaching, things started to change in my world. I started to understand what mental health is. I started to understand that I also have a mental health condition. I started to understand that all of the things that I have been doing in my life was not commensurate towards how I needed to take care of my children. Because I have two children. Currently, they're 21 years old and 18 years old, and they're grown up. But 5 years ago, I was just someone who's so busy with my work that I lose sight of taking care of them. Where's that coming from? Of course, common stereotyping for men is you do all of the work and your children, your spouse or your wife would just do all of the caretaking. But that proved me wrong. That the father needs to also be there to support the children in their journey. So 5 years down the line, 5 years down the line of all of the things that I did to implement, things got better. My daughter is now able to manage her depression. She is able to be productive. She's working towards and ensuring that she is able to fulfill the things that you want to fulfill, and life coaching is able to do that for her. So if maybe you're someone who's going through, you have a child currently who's going through some mental health challenges, right? Or maybe they're just going through some tough times right now and they're not unable to share with you their stories. They're not unable to share with you your thoughts. They're unable to share with you what's going on in them and their emotions. Take a look at the life coaching profession. Tomorrow there's gonna be a class that Master Coach A will facilitate. That's the ABCs of Life Coaching Level 1. And if you want to know more about how you can help your children, empower them to make better decisions in their life and empower them to have the confidence for them to be successful, then life coaching would help them in their journey. Just check out the page of Life Coach Philippines. There is a post in there, the ABCs of Life Coaching Level 1, and just type in there ready. Then someone from Life Coach Philippines would help you out to really have you register for tomorrow's class. So that's going to be at 4 p.m. So I invite you to have a conversation with us. Now, one of the things that I've learned in time, and one of the things that I have been reflecting on for a couple of years already, that all of us have emotions. Even for men, if you are someone who's a tough guy, right, that you need to be able to show a straight face for you to be successful, we all have emotions. Now, if emotions are left unchecked, if emotions are being ignored, if emotions are just a by the way, then that hurts us from soothing ourselves. That hurts us from being in a state where we are comfortable, that we are able to express because of the stereotyping. And I've learned that hindering yourself from expression cripples you from being the kind of person that you want to be and supporting your children to be kind of person that they want to be. Emotions commonly might respond when things are not going out well, especially when people are not being able to understand me, is anger. When we continue to be angry, unfortunately, we will not be able to solve our problems. You know, when we end up tolerating all of the people around us, when we end up tolerating the things in our life, when we end up just accepting things for what it is rather than questioning it, it puts us in a space in which we're not able to see our work. We're not able to see the value of what we do, and we're not able to see the value of what we give. I am someone who's an introvert. Introvert means that I like working alone. If it's what up for me, I would just go do things on my own. I'm okay with it. But people need people. Like me specifically, I have two children. They need me, and also I know that I need them, right? Because they're my kids. And if you want to be in a space in which you're able to suit yourself and you're able to find comfort, and you're able to experience healing and growing, then you need to find people that will celebrate you but will not tolerate you. So maybe you're someone who's used to being on your own. Maybe you're someone who's used to solving your problems on your own. Maybe you're someone who's just used to dealing with things on your own, but go in circles and cycles, not really able to solve things, and you are in the brink of exploding. Your mind is exploding. Find a space. That's what I'm gonna leave with you. The beauty of Irish coffee, when you experience it, it sets you back, and it allows you to just, have some moment in your chair and appreciate the present moment that you're in. Because all of us has problems. I'm not exempted. I still have problem these days. But when you step back and when you just experience the present moment, you are now reminded that you are able to control. Because sipping coffee, you have full control over that. From getting it, from lifting it up, from sipping it. You can sip it when it's hot, you can sip it when it's not, right? And you can have a decision to put it down and just enjoy the present moment. That's what I've learned. And I'm imparting it with you because this is what we often miss as human beings. If you are someone who's successful in your work, in your business, but you're not able to see your children thrive and they're going through mental health challenges, at times you as a parent, you love your children, you want to understand your children, but during the conversations you can't seem to really grasp of what's going on, and trying to look for the space, but you have a fear of what people will do or judge you. Then I invite you, learn about life coaching and be part of our tribe of professional life coaches by visiting the CACC Republic. When you go through the process of life coaching, you would be able to learn how to, or how your emotions is influencing you. You would understand the triggers. You would be aware of the sensations that you have, and you would now create your own narrative that's logical, that's sensible for you to respond in ways that allows you to be joyful. So if you want to experience joy, the best way for you to be able to start that is to be in the space in which you are supported and you are understood. Later at 7 p.m., I invite you, if you're needing support out there, if you're listening to me, if you're watching me right now, head on over at the CACC Republic. Master Coach A will talk about the aspect of mental health to educate us so that we have the necessary skills for us to address mental health challenges from ourselves and from our children. And later, if you just want to release some of the pressures and stresses that you have in your mind, I'm also inviting you to join us at 9 p.m. for open mic. Have some singing, some songs in there, express yourself with Coach Orville, and just allow yourself to be free of the change that has been bugging you, holding you back for the longest time. And in that way, you can finally tell yourself that you deserve to finally release yourself from all of this change that has been bothering you, and finally having the people that understood you of your journey and get the necessary support for you to have the skill, the knowledge, and the tools to succeed and future-proof your children. In closing, I'd like to thank you for joining us today and supporting the cause of mental fitness. If you are free, please do drop by for our face-to-face community events at the CACC Republic. Of course, every Sunday we will have eventually Purpose Sunday, Parenting Mondays, Kapihan Night on a Tuesday, Habit on Wednesday, Prayer Night on a Thursday, and later Fab Saturday, Open Mic with Coach Orville. And if you're interested to be part of what we're doing as a professional life coach, I would like to invite you to join us in our certification classes. We're continuing to accept life coach certification program. We have a class which is class 20 on April 6 and 7, that's face-to-face, and April 21, April 17 and 19, that's virtual, and class 22 on April 27 and 28, that's face-to-face. The April 6 and 7, that will be in Tacloban, and the rest would be online and in Metro Manila. Just connect with Coach Rizal at 0917-586-1661 or message us here at the CACC Republic for assistance. Do join us back again tomorrow. It's going to be Coach Nord. You see her name in there, Nordine Kales, and she's going to talk about Friendship Brew, embracing the Danish Caps Laberas. That's going to be the conversation tomorrow. So you tune in, have a conversation, and I look forward to seeing you at the CACC Republic one of these days. If you want to know more about how you can learn about parenting styles, techniques, and principles, do visit my page, Life Coach Shaun De Joya, and I share there some tips and strategies for you to become a better parent. But again, this is Life Coach Shaun De Joya, mentally fit to serve. Maraming salamat for joining us, when we'll see you later at the CACC Republic. Thank you and have a great weekend ahead. Bye-bye!
As a business owner, are you overwhelmed by the need to post beautiful, engaging content every single day? Are you left wondering what to write? Tired of scrolling through stock photos that all start to look the same? Confused by complicated graphic design programs? Rise Up Creatives is here to help. Each month, we give you everything you need to create 31 days of social media content in just 5 minutes a day. Customizable captions, curated lifestyle photos, a drag-and-drop graphic design tool, and the ability to post directly to your social media accounts. No one else empowers you with these 4 resources all in one place. Each month, we help you plan your social media calendar by providing you with 31 image themes and customizable captions so you can quickly and easily create engaging content and grow your following. Simply select the image that works best for your feed or story. Then, copy the caption and customize it to fit your audience. 5 minutes a day. It's that quick. Plus, you'll absolutely love our drag and drop graphic design tool. Start from scratch or choose one of our beautiful templates to fit your unique brand. When you're ready to export your design, you can download, email, or post directly to your social media accounts. Here's the truth. Our world needs what you have to offer. Don't let technology or procrastination hold you back. Rise Up Creatives is more than an online resource. We're a community helping you overcome your biggest barriers to reach your greatest goals. We're here to help you rise up and be creative.